All right, so let's start our day with our eighth lesson of programming 2, which is restructuring a data set. And this consists of a concept of rotating the data set by using a data step. Okay, so when we say rotating a data set, that means sometimes we have our data in a structure where the columns values are or the row values which are representing is to be converted to the column, and the columns to be converted to rows, because there are certain requirement scenarios sometimes where you have to generate the report, but the data structure is not in that particular structure. Like for example, if it's a frequency report you have to generate on a specific column, but that column is representing as row values. So in that case, you have to restructure your table, make your rows to columns and your columns to rows. Okay. And that is why we are going to learn the concept of restructuring a data set. So there are two steps of restructuring. One is a data step and one is your proc step. So when it is a proc step, we have a procedure called proc transpose, and in data step we'll be using array method to restructure your data set. Okay, so let's see this in detail, how one can restructure your data. So we are going to rotate your data with a data step by using arrays and do loop processing. So understand what data structure is. So look at this or look at this table very carefully. Now you are aware this is the information about donations where you have employee ID, and for each quarter what is the amount the particular employee is donating and the method of donating. Okay, so in this case it's telling some data sets store all the information about one entity in a single observation. For convenience, this is referred as a wide data set. For a single employee, you have a multiple entities in a single row. So when this is a structure where your columns are more, you call this structured data as a wide data set. So for example, this employee has multiple values across the single row, okay, in this single row itself. Hence, your structure is widened with number of columns. Hence, it is called as wide data set. All right. But the same data, if it is representing for the same employee, you have multiple values. Now see this structure carefully. This is the structure similar to like this, not the structure but the values. But look at the structure. Your single employee has multiple row values for the contribution of each quarter. Now these quarters have become rows. Earlier they were columns. See, quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four, but now this has become rows. So this you have rotated in this way, and hence this type of structure you call it as a narrow structured data set. So it's telling data sets which have multiple observations per entity. So for each employee you have multiple observations. Hence, this table is referred as narrow dataset. All right, understood the structure of dataset?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, very simple. Fine. So let's understand this through a scenario. They are asking us to create two reports. One is a frequency report and one is the, on the basis of frequency, you have to generate a pie chart. Okay, so it's telling sum of employee contributions for individual quarters. So it's telling Orion payroll manager asked for a report showing the number of Orion Star employees who made charitable donations each quarter and a pie chart with quarterly sum of the contribution. So we are going to use procedures called ProcFreq and ProcGchart. So they are telling the manager requested a report showing number of Orion Star employees who made charitable donations for each quarter along with a frequency and pie chart. So to get this type of report where you have for each quarter the frequency count of donations, which structure is going to help us to create this report? So that's what the quiz is. So if you want to create a frequency report for each quarter, which table structure is quite appropriate, wide or narrow, A or B?
B.
B.
Narrow. Yeah, B.
How do we write proc frequency procedure? What is the
Table
syntax?
proc freq, and then we'll give the input data set. Then tables will select one of the variable, and
Yeah.
then calculate the
So
frequency.
if you are telling one of the variable, so with your B structure table, which variable you will be using?
Uh,
Look at the report
period.
frequency
Period. Yeah, period.
and look at your employee.
Period.
Oh, okay. Period.
It should be employee.
Others is A or B. Priyanka, Shanmuga.
B only. P variables period and employee ID.
Okay. Priyanka, Swarupa.
Employee ID variable.
No, no. Which table?
B
A
for
or
B.
B?
For B.
B. Priyanka, agreed?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's B. So this is what you write the frequency procedure, where tables you write period, and because you want only frequency count, you are going to suppress cumulative frequencies and percentage. Hence, you write this option no cumulative, no percentage. Correct? So in case you had this table in case while processing and you want to generate a frequency report. So that is the reason why you will have to first restructure this table and generate a frequency report. Okay? And that is why we are going to do the same thing. So to create a frequency report, we have our input data donations, which is this table. Now this is a wide structure. First and foremost is this wide structure table. You have to convert it to narrow structure table. Then only you can generate a frequency report on it. So changing the data set from wide to narrow structure can simplify this task. So this is what we are going to do. Your columns are going to become your rows. So this single or for each entity you have single row. So now this wide structure is going to convert it into narrow structure where each employee has multiple rows. And this is what we are going to rotate your data set. And you will be creating three columns: employee ID, period, and amount. All right. So let's see with data step how we'll be doing it.
Why are
Of
we
course,
using last variable paid by? Is
it's
it
not
because
required. It's not required because we don't want paid by into our report, right? We just want the frequency counts for each quarters and their amount to be seen into your report.
just because we want the frequency and the graphical chart, we depending on the
Scenario, yes, you do not want paid by, right? So don't
okay,
use that column
okay.
while rotating. So see, look at this data step. See, you are keeping employee ID, period, and amount. So what are we doing? We are dropping recipient and paid by from input data set. For output, you are keeping only these columns. Of course, you are creating array called contrib on quarters. You are using a loop. Within the loop, you are telling if contrib I is not equal to missing. So we are going to work only with non-missing values. Why? Because we want frequency count of non-missing values, correct? So we are not considering the values which are missing. If those are not equal to missing, then do create a column called period, which you are going to cates with quarter and with I. Then amount is going to be the value for contribui. Output immediately the current output or current processing value. end with this do loop, and this end is for your do, or your, sorry, end is for this then do, and this end is for your do loop. So inner end is for then do, outer end is for do loop. All right. Look at this code carefully. Very simple.
Yes.
Okay. So into our prop 2, we have lesson 8 demo 01. Same code, just executing. First and foremost, let's see whether it's getting rotated from wide to narrow. So see, you got a narrow structure table, and on this frequency on period column, and you're suppressing cumulative frequencies and percentage, and you get the output frequency report. Now, in case if you want to generate a chart, you are going to introduce yourself with a procedure called as GChart. Okay, GChart, we write data equal to, what's your data set name here? You have newly created rotate. Okay, and this you can write, you have to create a pie chart. So it's a keyword called pie. What is your analysis variable in this period? Run. Right? So see, these are the frequency counts. So if you are going to observe this report carefully with frequency and chart, you'll find that this frequency counts for quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 2, quarter 3 and 4 respectively. It's this it's representing. Okay. So these are the frequencies. Depending on frequencies, this slices of your pie is been created. All right. So there is a default color which is coming. So within this proc G chart, it never ends with run, but it ends with quit. So within this proc G chart, you can have a procedure. In a single procedure, you can write the charts for H bar. So H bar means you can have vertical bar. So you can write, for example, I'm just telling you. And you can also have V bar. V bar is vertical bar chart. Okay. And all this ends with quit. Okay. So within a single procedure, you can write multiple scenarios where you want different charts, and you can quit it as a single step. No need of using run. Run is only to end a single step. Here you have multiple steps in a single proxy chart. Hence, the group is going to end with quit. Now look at the procedure output. Okay, I have an error with pi was not highlighting. H bar for, okay, this table is not correct for H bar, but in case I use prog G chart, data is equal to rotate, not rotate. Let's use Orion star donation, or Orion dot employee donation. Suppose you check, give this QTR1. GChart. I'll just use one. You see there are various SPy, SPlot. Okay. So if it is SGplot, alright, I'll make you understand this later on. We'll work on this H bar and pie chart later.
With the G
All
chart,
right,
we are getting Ashwini H bar.
you are getting it?
Yes,
I don't know why I'm not getting it.
but not with the rotate data. The same employees donation item.
It should come with employee donations.
It is coming. Yeah.
It's coming?
Yes.
Okay. If for you it's coming, then it's all good. Let's try it again. Okay, for me it's not coming. It's all fine. I'll show you later on. There are many things coming up in your slides. Okay, so this was all about your rotation. So
Ashwini,
how it works? Yes,
but I used run statement at the end. It is coming. If I use quit, it is not coming. It's the
okay.
same.
So quit is it's a group of procedures. Let's see. Yes, so H is horizontal bar chart. So for each value of your individual quarter one, I'm getting its individual bar charts. Okay, which is horizontal. Same thing I can use here also. So you can use H bar, V bar is vertical bar charts. Okay, so let's check. See, this is pie chart. This is horizontal bar chart for period. Okay, and this is vertical bar chart. Fine. So this is all about. So whenever we use procedure GChart or SGplot, okay, plot is where you can create plots of your graph. It always connects to a separate software of graphics of SAS, okay, and then you can see the output in your current SAS output window. But the software at the backend which it uses is the SAS graph software. All right. So this is where you find that you can create graphs. So there are various options ahead how you can enhance this report that we'll see in upcoming demonstration. All right. So this is the basics which we are looking. So let's understand how rotation is happening with compilation phase. So we have data rotate set. Now from set statement, you know, SAS will read the columns from your input data set for compilation. Now because you are writing drop recipients and paid by, it is not at all selecting those columns during compilation itself in PaidBy. Whereas you are writing keep equal to for your output data set, only for those columns, it's keeping employee ID, period, and amount. Rest all is automatically dropped and therefore it's showing the flag as D. All right. So I hope you understand how keep and drop equal to dataset option is working here. It's a dataset option, hence recipient and paid is not at all selected while creating the descriptor portion of your input data itself in your PDB. Correct? So array contrib is created. Now this is not a column to be created because contrib is created as array name on existing columns. Do I. Now I is a variable which gets added into your PDB. Hence I equal to 1 to 4. Okay. So rest, period and amount are the new columns which are written in assignment statement. Hence those are added during compilation phase in your PDB. All fine. And thus, during your compilation phase, you get the output of your descriptor portion of your new data set with columns and its attributes. Fine. Now let's understand its execution phase. So during execution, at initial stage, your PDV has to be vacant and hence it is initialized with missing. Character variables are blank, numeric are assigned as period. Now when it hits your set statement, it reads your input table Orion.employee donations. Hence, the first row of observation from your input data is taken into your PDV. So because this first employee is contributing only for fourth quarter, it's showing this values like this. Now understand the procedure. Okay. Now array statement, it will not read during compilation, sorry, execution, because array statement is a compile time statement. It's already created array in the memory. Okay. It is not going to show you in PDV. So it's just a logical concept. It's in the memory. So it's going to move to do statement. So it's telling do I equal to 1 to 4. So it will take the value for I as 1. So it will enter the loop. So it will check contrib I not equal to missing. So contrib I, that means indirectly it's going to read quarter 1. So is it true it's not equal to missing? No, it's false. Hence it will come outside the loop, directly come to this second end where it's the end of the loop. And whenever it encounters the end, your I value is incrementing default by 1. Hence in PDV it is 2. So it will go into the loop and it will check whether this current I value is within the range of your start and stop. Yes, so it will enter the loop. It will check your statement. Now statement is a condition telling if contrib I. So currently I value is 2. So contrib 2. So which is equivalent to quarter 2. So is quarter 2 not equal to missing? It is missing. So this statement is false again. Hence it will come outside the loop. And again with this end, your I is incremented default by 1. Now it is the value as 3. It will go into your loop. It will check whether this current I value is within the range. Yes. So it will enter the loop. Again, its contrib I means currently contrib 3, which is equivalent to quarter 3, which is missing. So this condition is again false. Okay. Hence it will come outside the loop. Now it will and again increment your I value whenever it hits end of your loop. It will increment default by 1. It becomes 4. It goes into your loop and checks whether this I value in PDV is within this range. Yes. So now it will enter the loop. Now what's the condition if contrib not equal to missing? So contrib I is contrib 4, which is equivalent to quarter 4. Is it not equal to missing? Yes, it's true. Hence now it will create period. Now what is the syntax for creating period column? It has to concatenate quarter with I. Hence cates. Cates will simply put the two arguments together, removing leading and trailing blanks. Hence it's become QI quarter one or quarter I, sorry. So quarter I, what is the I value currently? 4. Hence it becomes QTR4. So it's contributing only with quarter 4 and hence its value. And what is the value coming up? Amount should be the value of contrib. So what is contrib currently? Quarter 4. Hence the amount value will be 24, 25. Hence with explicit output statement, because it's this columns are dropped, those are not written to output. That is but obvious. During compilation itself, those columns were not written to your descriptor portion. And this is what the current values of PDV content is written to your output dataset. So with this end, it's end with your loop. But by default nature, your I is incrementing to 5. It checks, is it within the range? No, it's outside the range. So it comes outside the loop. And with run, it will simply have implicit return. Why? Because we are processing this data from input data set. So only the first row was been processed. It has to process all the individual rows from your input table. Hence, with run, it moves back to your data step iteration. Again, in the second iteration cycle, Your PDV has to be vacant for all the new variables which have been created. Hence, its PDV is initialized to missing. Now, these columns which are coming from input table, hence those are not reinitialized to missing, but the variables which are created newly are been reinitialized to missing. Hence, now when it hits set, it reads the second row into your PDV. And as per your instructions, now with your loop I value, which is equal to contrib I, which is currently not equal to missing, is true. Hence, it will enter the loop, take the value for period, take the value for amount. With explicit output statement, it will immediately write it to your new data set. With this end, it will increment your I variable value in PDV, and this is how the process continues until your end of your file marker. All fine? Understood how it's working and creating a narrow structured data set from a wide structured data set. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And thus you had a output table which is having for single employee multiple rows. And this is the perfect data structure to create a report as per your business requirement for frequency as well as for chart. So this is what frequency report is, and this is your pie chart. Now see, with your pie chart, it's a 3D pie chart. Hence you can write pie 3D, analysis variable is period, and as per the syntax in this pie chart you can write various options by giving this forward slash. Now it's telling that you want this pie chart values to be represented on the basis on amount column, hence you write sum var is equal to amount. Okay, the values should be the sum value. Okay, you do not want the frequency value, hence you are summing the amount value, and you want this as separate slice. The slice of your pie should be shown in this way. That means this quarter value should be seen on outside, hence you are writing slide is equal to outside. Value you want of your amount on your slice, hence you write value is equal to inside, and you do not want the heading of a pie chart, hence you write no heading. Okay, and you are formatting the amount value with dollar, and title you're giving this, hence you get this output. All right, yes, so same thing you can do in this demonstration. So I have this period. So within this period, I can enhance my pie chart by writing this forward slash by giving various options. I want, it was a simple pie which I was saying earlier. So see, it was a pie which was a simple one without a 3D structure. And this was showing frequency counts. I don't want frequency counts. I want the sum of my amounts. Okay. Hence, I'll write the options here about the variable on which I'm getting the slices as quarter, but the frequency values, instead of showing the chart of my frequency values, I want for contribution of my amount. So I will write my analysis numeric variable is going to be my amount column. So we'll do one by one. So with this amount, I'll be giving the chart which is coming with amount values and not the frequency values. So see, this is the amount. Okay, so this is sum of all the amounts. So I want this sum value. So hence this is options. So I have various options. So I will be writing that it should be sum. Okay, so that's what this slide was telling. Type. So the type is, it should sum all the values. So type equal to sum. Fine. I want this values to be inside on my pie chart. All right. So see this option inside. So places the text inside the slice. The label overlays the slice fill patterns. Fine. So earlier it was coming like this. Fine. Now we want a pie 3D chart. So let's write here 3D. Okay. So let's do one by one. So see the structure is changed in 3D. This QTR1, QTR2, QTR3, I don't want inside. I want outside my pie. So that's what the instructions on the slide were. No headings. Slice should be outside. Okay. I write the slice which is happening on my quarter columns, which is on period, it should be outside. Fine. So this is the default heading which I'm getting. Sum of amount by period. So what I'll be doing is, okay, let's see. See, I'm not getting that heading now. All right. But I want the title. So what is the title? Sum of employee contributions, and I want to format my amount with $sign. Moving back into my code. Of course, format is an independent statement in your procedures. You're going to write it as an independent statement. It's not a part of your 3D pie statement. Okay. So format amount with $8 dot. And of course, you give the title. So what is the title they were telling? Sum of employee contributions. So you can also meanwhile open this demo D01 for lesson 8 and work on this demonstration simultaneously. So see, you get your title, you get the values are formatted. All right. So you can work on this demo. Go ahead. Okay. So this was your pie chart.
Ashwini, can you go back to the slide once?
Yeah. Yes.
So in the program, if you see, there is a quit after run. So
Mm.
without quit also, can we, we are able to, like earlier we have seen, we are able to run the program without quit also.
Okay. So what does quit indicates? So
Yes.
quit, whenever we write quit, quit means, of course, it's the end of your procedure, but quit, and this, there are certain procedures like we have this proc GChart, we have proc Gplot, we also have proc data sets, one of the procedure, and we have proc SQL also. So those all end with quit. Now why they are ending with quit? Because in your single proc GChart and with your proc quit, or sorry, with quit, you can write multiple instructions to generate the report. Now this was the first instruction, that in a single proc GChart you are creating a type of chart which is PI. So in a single proc GChart and within quit, you can also give instructions to create H bar and V bar. And these are individual instructions for various report. Okay. Hence here PI is ending with run. When I'll be giving instructions to H bar, that also should end with run. Same with V bar, and it's a cumulative end for single proc G chart. We are giving various instructions for reports with various procs. Hence you end with quit. Otherwise, individually you can write this way also. With individual proc G chart, you can write individual instructions for H bar. Again, you write the same thing with another proc G chart, and you can write the same thing with V bar. So instead of using, it's the same instructions where it is connecting to your graphical software, and you are doing the same process but with different presentation. Why don't you write it cumulative like this and end it with quit? Okay,
Okay.
that's it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Recording. So with this demonstration, now you find how one can also create a chart presentation for your report. And of course, in your earlier code, you had seen how you have rotated a wide structure to a narrow structure, correct? So with this, let's have an exercise. So come to your PDF. Okay, so let's rotate your data. So your page of your PDF book for exercise is 8-23 level 1 exercise number 1. It's telling rotating a data set. So again, a wide structure, you have to convert it into a narrow structure. So go ahead, it is very simple. It's telling the same, it's a data for sales for each customer for first 6 months of the year. It's telling you have to rotate a data order underscore meteor to create an output data set called as 6 months, containing one observation per month for each customer. So for each customer, this columns are now going to become your rows. See? So if this customer is doing the purchase for 6 months, this customer ID will appear 6 times. And this is the month column which shows in which month what is the sale. And this individual values of your each month sale amount becomes rows. All right. So dataset should contain customer ID, month and sale column. Do not output an observation if the monthly total is missing. Very important point. So this is a very similar like your demonstration. So go ahead and work on this. So this is the code on your screen. So you can just view this code. So it's 6 months data set. From input data set, you are keeping these columns, creating month as your array. Do month I to 6. If month, okay, so this months is your array. Okay, so we are using month as your index variable. Okay, it's not equal to missing. Then do sales is equal to months with your month of your I, which is index variable. That's it. Output and end. End is for this, then do. This end is for this do. All right.
Okay. Done.
In your output report, as per the given screenshot, we want customer ID, month and sales. So
Hmm.
what month is actually this I, correct? So in case instead of this, I use I. So see how it gives you the value.
So the column name will be changed from month to I.
I to month. So your report comes customer ID, I and sale. So what is this I? When you give this report to your business analyst who's going to take the maybe the decision on this report, he won't
Oh,
understand what I is.
okay.
For you, I is your index variable. He
Yes.
won't understand what I is. So instead of this, either you rename this in your output data set Or its best way, you give the name here itself as your index variable name as month. So as we were learning earlier, we were giving year and all. So same thing, you give your month. That's it. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Others, I hope you've understood this.
Yes.
Okay. Priyanka, Swarupa, Shanmuga.
Yes. Yes, Ashwini.
So now no more I, it's only month.
And Ashwini.
Okay. Others?
Done, Ashwini.
I'm also done.
Priyanka?
Done, Ashwini.
Okay. So this was a short lesson, and that's the end of our lesson number 8. So we'll take a short break of 5 minutes and we'll start our lesson number 9. All right? So can resume back after 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so let's resume with our lesson number 9, which is combining SAS data sets. So in this, we'll see how one can combine more than two tables or two tables at a time by using your data step technique and the technique is called as merging. Okay, so we will never have the information of your business related scenarios always in a single table. Okay, you may have the information scattered in various tables. So in that case, you have to combine the informations from various table, and accordingly you will have to extract the information and generate the report for analysis as per your business requirement. So in that case, you need to combine the information. So when we are learning this data step, it's one of the technique to combine your data sets by using a merge technique. So let's understand what merging is and how it works. So moving ahead, so we'll see match merging of your SAS data sets. We'll see how, or we'll show some examples of data manipulation techniques with match merging. We'll show techniques to perform a match merging for this special cases. And we'll see 3 or more SAS data sets that lack a single common core variable and variable names that need to be altered to obtain the correct merge result. So these are some of the topics which we are going to learn in match merging. So first and foremost, let's understand what merging technique is. Okay, so before moving into this, I'll be creating a table. So let's work on it. So let's see. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll create a data which is called as class. Okay, so in this I'll input suppose name, which is character, and I use roll number. All right, and I give the values data lines. So the name I give is suppose some name, roll number is 3. I gave it as roll number suppose 5. I give the name as roll number is 2, and I give the name here as suppose Jane. Let's have this all in proper rows. Data lines does not have semicolon. Semicolon comes only at the end when we give all the values. And let's add one more, which is called as suppose Kitty. All right, end of your data step. Data input file. Another data step. Suppose I write the data step as marks. All right, input. I'll write roll number and I write marks as the column. Data lines. So my roll number is suppose 3. Marks suppose obtained is certain value. Then my number is roll number 2. Marks certain obtained is some value. Then 1, 5 I'll give. Marks is 21. Your mark is suppose 43. And then this is the fourth roll number, which is some value. All fine? So let's execute. All right. So now we have two data sets. One is class and the second one is marks. Okay. So if you see these two tables, okay, what is the common column in this? Yes,
Roll number.
roll number. Okay. So if I want to create as if that I'm going to combine this two table where I should have name, roll number and marks. Okay. So this is what I should have like Tina, roll number 3 and marks is 34. I want when I'm combining this two table, I want this row as a single row in my output table. So what I'm doing is I'm going to combine these two tables side by side so that I get the result as a single line which is merging from both the tables, and thus it's called as merging technique of my data sets where I'm creating a matching on the basis of my common column match rows, or the rows are matched on the basis of common column to create a single row. Okay, understood? So on the basis of common column, I'm going to match the rows to create a single row in my output data set. All fine? Understood?
Okay.
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
But in case if you want to match the rows, look at the rows here for my common value or common column. Is this rows in order?
No.
So if those are not in order, I cannot match them on my positions, correct? Because in case if first row is in is 3 roll number, here it's 3, all fine, it will match. But what about this row? Will it do the match merging? Will it do on this value on the third row, on the fourth row? Okay, fourth row is fine. But what about this? Again, it's fine. But this won't match, correct? Are you getting it?
Yes,
Yes.
both
So
are different.
in case if I add some rows now, roll number 5, he has some values, then this is having some marks, and 8 is having some marks. Fine. So let's again re-execute all to create a new data set. So class has 5 rows, marks data has 3 rows. Okay. So before working on merging, okay, we have to give the instructions to SAS first to rearrange the observations of my data on the common variable. Okay. So to rearrange, that means I need to sort, right? So hence I'm going to give the syntax proc sort data equal to my input data set is class. I do not want to disturb my original table. So I can write out equal to, and I write class underscore sort, and I write the statement by roll number. Okay, this is the end of my proc sort. So the same thing I use for my second table. The data is marks, and I change this also. Fine, and I sort. So you get the data which is sorted. So you have class sort. So if you observe now, it is sorted in default ascending order. When I move ahead and I look mark sort, I find even that is sorted in descending order. Okay, so now I have 9 rows here, and in class I have 5 rows. Correct? I want to merge. So when I'm going to merge this data set, I'm going to write my data step called merge. Okay, data, I create class marks. Now, when I'm going to merge the two tables, I'm not going to use a keyword as set, but I'm going to use the keyword as merge. Merge my data, which is sorted, which is class sort. Merge my second table, which is marks sort. And I'm going to merge it on the basis of a common variable. Hence, merge it with which I have sorted. So by roll number. Okay, run. So now just pay attention how this sorting, or sorry, how this merging is happening on the basis of common variable, which is roll number. So when you look into your output, now you see the values. So this is the values coming from the first table. And of course, on the basis of a common variable, it is merging to create you a single row where you get name, roll number, marks. Same goes with this name, roll number, marks. But these values are contributed from second table, which is not having any names, hence it's left as blank. And hence this is called as matching rows, and these are non-matches. Getting it? So your table is matched on matching rows as well as on non-matches. So wherever the columns or the values do not have matching values from any of the table, that values are blank. Are you getting it now, everyone?
Yes.
So it
Yes.
is merged where it's giving you a common row for merging on common column, a single row where it is doing match merging. Okay, it's matching on the basis of common column. Hence the row you get as single row and you get as match merging. All right.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So this was a simple technique of match merging. Now what I do is I update this table of marks. All right, where I may have the same table Okay, I simply update it again. I write it as marks 2 table. I include that again. I give for one, maybe he may have two subjects he might be taking or he must be working on. So in case if I add in this as subject column, okay, which is character. Here I give the subject name as suppose maths. All right. Here the subject name I gave is maths. All with maths. Now I give suppose this is attending suppose science is getting some values. Okay. Then I have 5. He is having science maths. Let us have some values. And we have some value for roll number 6, some value. Okay. Now understand. This is marks 2, but before working, let's sort it also. So I'll write proc sort data equal to marks 2 out equal to marks 2 sort by roll number. Fine. Okay. I'll copy the same merge technique syntax also. Now here it should be marks 2 sort. Here also I give the data set name as 2. Fine. All right. So you get this data, which is marks 2, which is C. You have roll number with its subjects and their marks. Okay. Fine. So you have now here 2 rows for roll number 1, 5, and 6. Fine. Then you have sorted the same table and you get the sequence of rows which you see now you get for 1 you have 2 rows, roll number 1. For roll number 5, you'll have 2 rows, and for roll number 6, you have 2 rows. Rest all are individual rows. Correct? So it's taking time to open. So see, it's aligned one below the other. For 1, 1, you have 2 subjects. Okay, then for 5, 5, you have 2 subjects. Correct? And then you had 6. So do we have sixth column earlier? No. So you have for 5, 2 rows, for 1, 2 rows. Okay. Now what was your next code which you have done after sorting? You have merged this with your class sort and marks to sort. Okay. Now let's merge this on the basis of roll number. So when I'm merging it, my class sort data with marks 2 data, which is of course my sorted data set. Let's understand how SAS arranges the values. Understand, for earlier we were having for single value a matching row into a second table, so it was giving you a single row as a result. So it was having a match merging type of output. It also had certain rows which were not contributed from the first table, so we were getting non matches as well. Correct. Now let's see how this merging is happening. So see, for Jim it is having this values. Same thing for Nina, it is having two value. So what is having, what it's doing, for one value of your class for Jim on the roll number one, it is combining with two rows from your second table of marks. Getting it? So this type of match merging is called as one to many. All right. Are you getting it? What I'm trying to tell you?
Yes.
Yes, no. So I'll just show you the proc print also. So let's see the proc print for my original tables. So proc print data is equal to for class sort proc print data equal to, it was my marks underscores marks 2, correct? It's marks 2. All right. So see, this was your class table, which you have arranged the rows in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was your marks to table, which you have arranged the values on roll numbers. So multiple rows have stacked together. So see, multiple rows have stacked together. All right. And this was the result of your merging. So how is this merging happening? See, for a single row, from your roll number 1, it is having multiple row for roll number 1 in your second table. So this row will combine with this row for math subject, and again this row is also combining on your second subject on the common column. So for one observation for roll number in your first table, you have two rows in your second table. Hence the result which you get is like this. For single observation from first table, it's combining to multiple rows in your second table. So this type of output which you get from SAS is called as one to many type of match merging. Understood now? Same goes with roll number 5 also. Whereas this all are your non-matches. All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct. Now 6 is not having any number or any roll number in common for this first table. 6 is just the roll number and its subject. Hence, the 6 is contributing from your second table, which is not having any value from your first table. Same goes for 7, 8, and 9. Correct? Whereas here we are having two rows for roll number 1. Hence, the output which results is having two rows with two subjects and its individual marks for the same person. So this type of report which you get is called as one to many type of match merging. And the earlier one which we saw was a direct called as match merging. So I will show you the proc print for that also. Proc print data equal to class underscore marks. Correct? Okay, so this is your original table sorted. Now this report is all about match merging. See, 1 1 was merged, 1 2 was merged appropriately. So if you look into this, see 1 2. Okay, so this was the result earlier, which were merging with only marks data, and this was with one too many. All right, so this is match merging result where you get common row on the common column, which is roll number, and this is one too many multiple rows on your single match merging. All right. So this was just an introduction for your merging. Okay. So let's see the same thing. So it's telling you match merging combines observations from one or more data sets into single observation in your new data set based on the values of one or more common variables. So the same thing we had seen in our earlier slide. So here you see the same thing. What we had seen, this result, which was the on the basis of common column, you was performing a match merging. Correct? So that's what this slide is telling, that when you are doing a match merging, when you give the instructions to merge, but depending on the rows and the type of rows and the values, SAS performs the type of merging. Okay, so match merging combines observations from one or more SAS data sets into single observation into your new data sets, and this is done on a common variable. So that is what your very first result which we had seen, which was all about this merging on class and marks. Correct? I hope you remember this table, which was a match merge type of output. Correct? So that's what it's telling now. You have a data called orient.customer and work.order fact. Maybe this is a sorted table. You are merging on a common variable. You are writing a data step where it is combining sideways horizontal join. Merging is always horizontal, where it's combining, that's what it's telling, combine observations from one or more data sets into single observations. So that's what it's combining sideways to create a single observation in your resulting new data sets. And this is based on values of one or more common variable. All right.
Ashwini,
Okay. Yes.
so while merging the data sets, do we need to follow any kind of order which data set to merge first? Is there any
No, no
rule?
order, no order, no order. Okay. So, but it depends on what is your requirement, that if you require name first, if you require roll number first, so accordingly you have to arrange the tables, or you can also arrange the columns for your output result also.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So which statement is true concerning match merging? So read the statement and tell which is true.
Last option.
Yeah, D.
D.
Shanmuga, Priyanka, agreed?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, whenever you want to sort, or sorry, whenever you are going to merge your data set, prerequisite is your data should be sorted. And when you are merging, it should be merged only with the same by statement or by variable which you have sorted your data. Okay. Yes. So when you use a merge statement with the by statement, the data must be sorted or indexed on that by variable. So this was an example for order fact. They are sorting it on customer ID and they're selecting only those orders were placed in the year 2007, and you are merging it with customer. So it's understood maybe that the customer table is already in a sorting order, hence they are not sorting it by customer ID. So this is what it's telling. 77 observations were read from orient.customer. 128 rows were read from order fact. Total is 168, 163. Now, why we are getting 163? Because the matching rows will always combine and the non-matches is also left. Hence, there might be some non-matches from this table, non-matches from this table. Hence, the total combination is 163. Getting it? So in our case also, when we look into your log, when it has combined these two tables, class and marks, so here we had 5 rows, here we had 8 rows, total is 8. It's because it is having match merging. So non-matches from this table is leaving as it is, hence the total rows in your output is 8. Are you getting it? See, because rest are all match merged as a result till roll number 5. I hope you understood this table.
Yes.
So this earlier table which we had, let's see your original tables. So meanwhile this table opens, let's come to your slides. Okay, the same thing. So see, you have matches and you also have non-matches. So if you want, you can open this demonstration, which is D01 for lesson 9. Look into the code and look into the output. Go ahead, open this demo for lesson 9 D01.
What is that unequal to option IN in?
That I'll explain you later. First of all, first only work with the matches and non-matches, which is the result which you see in your slides.
That is done, Ashwin.
Others, yes,
It's done.
Shanmuga and all
Yeah.
done.
Done.
Okay, so demo 01. Okay, so this was the part with match merging. So this was basic merge which they are telling, correct? It's not scrolling up. So look at the comments. It's telling basic match merge. So you are sorting your order, then you are merging with customer, and you are seeing the output. So the output which we see is both matches and non-matches. All right. So in case your resulting table which you are looking for, you want only matching rows. Okay, you don't want non-matches. So how you'll select the matching rows? So for that you have this concept called as in equal to data set option. Okay, so how it is used and how it works, I'll explain. So let this slide or let this output comes on the screen. Meanwhile, let's check what's on your slide. So the result was simple merge where you have matches and non-matches. So how can you keep only matches? So that's what we want, only the matching rows. We do not want non-matches. So in that case, we are going to give the instructions with matching rows to be selected. I hope I'm audible. Yes? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, one sec.
Ashwini, you're on mute, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. So this is in equal to data set option. So when I say data set option, that means this option is written only for that particular data set. Same like keep equal to, drop equal to, rename equal to. Okay. So like this, you have keep equal to data set option. So it's written in parenthesis. So when you write in equal to data set option, you can create a temporary variable. So this variable name, you can give any name. Either you give the name or you give the letter, anything is fine. So this always has Boolean expressions or two values, 0 and 1. It's a temporary data variable which is created in your PDV. So it's telling that this in equal to data set option which is creating this temporary variable, it always has the value as 0 or 1. That means if a particular observation is contributed from this data set, the value is 1, else it is 0. Okay, so how it looks, I'll show you. So when we go into our code, let's come to our demo. So when I was merging here, I merged these two data sets. Okay, and I simply write in equal to dataset option, telling in equal to, I give the name as suppose C. Okay, either you give the word or you give the letter, anything is correct. So I write in equal to M. And in case if you want to see the values, you can write put log underscore all underscore, and let's see how it is showing the value in your log as the contents of PDV. See, you see this C equal to 1, M equal to 1. So why it's telling 1? Because this name, roll number, subject, maths, okay? Till here, it's coming or it's contributed from a table, okay? Whereas roll number, again, it's a new column coming from your second table. It is also telling that it is contributed from both the tables. Correct? So this column is contributed from both the tables. Hence, its value is C is equal to 1 and M equal to 1. So where is the C and M? So C is from this table. M is for this table. So it's a temporary variable created that because roll number is a common column and this value 1 is contributed from both the tables, hence it's showing you this 1 1 as its contributing value, whereas it's showing you first dot also and last dot also. Now why it's showing first dot last dot? Because we are writing a by statement in a data step, though we are not going to use this concept, but because whenever we write a by statement in a data step to process your data in groups, by default these two temporary variables are created. Are you getting it now? Yes.
Yes.
So what is this? It's like roll number value is contributed by both the tables, hence both table values are 1 1. All right. Same goes here also. But now look at here. It's C0 M1. Why? Because name is the column which is not contributed by class table. So sorry, your roll number marks table. Hence name is blank from marks. Hence its marks is 1 but C value is 0. Same goes for this column also, for this column also. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
marks was having 6, 7, 8, 9 rows, but they were not having name. So because marks table is contributing for that particular observations, that is this values are 1, but name is not been contributed from your C column, hence its C value is 0. Are you getting it now? Now in case I want only matching rows, so if I want matching rows, I can write a subsetting if statement telling if C equal to 1 and M equal to 1. So what it will do, it will do only the correction, or it will select only those rows which are matching. That means the rows which are contributed by both the tables. Hence I write C equal to 1 and M equal to 1. So let's see whether it's giving you only the matches and non-matches are not selected. So let's see the output. It's taking time, but please hold, have patience, it will come. See, you have only matching. Correct? So see, though it is one to many, but still it's matching. Here also it's one to many combination, it's still matching. Look at the log for the contents of your C equal to value and M equal to value. Both which are matchings are selected. Non-matches are not selected. Now, in case you want to select only those rows which are contributed by your first table and not by your second table. Okay. So what you can do is you can always comment. So this is for matching rows. Okay. So I'll write here also. So here I will write if C equal to 1 and M equal to 0. So what this will do? Yes, what this will do?
Matching rows contributing from first table.
Absolutely. Matching rows from first table. Correct? In case if I write if C equal to 0 and M equal to 0, what it will do?
All not matches.
Absolutely.
In that case, it should not get any data,
Let's
right?
see how it works. Well, we'll check. We'll check. And in case if I write if C equal to 1 and M equal to 0.
That we have written already.
I would like, no, C is equal to M0, so it's C0 and M1. That's what I wanted to do. So it will select match. It will select only those rows contributed from second table. Correct?
Yes.
Fine. Okay. So these are just various combinations which I wanted to show you. So in your demonstration, you can see the same thing, what they have given. So open that demonstration D01, which you have already worked out, and see the headlines or headings which they have given for every data step. So coming to our demo, same thing. See, match merging with in. So what they have done, they have created two temporary variables, cust and order. So they are selecting only matching rows. Hence, when you execute this, you get only the matching rows and not the non-matches. All right. Same thing. So this program writes observations for matches only. The in equal to dataset option creates a variable that can be used to identify matches and non-matches. So you see now, you get the matching rows only. So this matching is happening because you may have order table having, of course, order table might be having multiple rows in your customer data. Hence, you are getting 128 rows. All right. Hence, it's becoming one to many type of match merging. All right. Now answer this question. Write the appropriate if statement to create the desired data set that contains only non-matches. We want to select only non-matches. So they have ID in common. So if
Both
you
are
look at the values, yes,
both can be like if in product equal to 0 and in cost is also 0.
okay. Does others agree? Swarupa, Shanmuga, Priyanka,
Yes.
Swarupa, Priyanka.
Yeah.
So see, in prod is 0 or you need to use. You cannot use and or either of it. Okay. If you write and, then it may result 0 rows. So you have to be very careful with the operator which you are joining these two criteria. All right. So you'll get non-matches. You have only one matching, which is B456, which is common in both the tables. These two are non-matches. So you write if in prod 0 or in cost 0. You'll get the non-match. All fine?
Yes.
Yes.
So if we
Okay,
Yes.
so
and
what I will do is, yes, any questions here?
in this statement, in
No?
this subsetting, if we give and there won't be any observations.
Mm, yes. Now one sec. In our case, in case if we want non-matches, okay? I write if C equal to 0 and M equal to 0. What you see?
Zero observations.
Yes. So I've used or and. That's
And
why I'm getting zero observations. See, I
okay.
used and. But in case if I go back and I change this operator, either of it, okay, it will not have any time both are zero. Are you getting it?
Yes.
That's why I use or. So when I write or, that means I'm selecting non-matches. So
All
either is C, yeah, all the non-matches. You get four non-matches. Getting it now?
yes.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll give you this code for you. You can sit and revise and practice for understanding merges, match merges, and one to many type of merge also. So you can use this code whenever you are practicing. All right. So the next topic is where we can combine the tables, okay, and we can create multiple data sets. But this I will take you through in the next class. All right. So for now, all right. So I have already given you the code, right? So please work on this code whenever you are practicing. The next part which we are supposed to do is about how to create multiple data sets depending on matches and non-matches. That will be taking into our next class. All right. Meanwhile, any questions? Yes. Meanwhile, any questions here?
So far, no.
No.
Okay. So please revise the topics. Okay. You have a good amount of time now. So we'll resume on Sunday evening, same time to continue this chapter. All right.
Okay.
Any questions?
Okay,
Any
sure.
doubts? Okay.
I'll
If no, then we'll wait, we'll stop for the day. Thanks for attending the class and wish you good night. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.